Win a home on Afternoon Express, where you, the viewer, can win one of 3 luxury apartments at Valdevia Estate in the Cape Winelands, worth over 3 million rand. Designed by our 3 contestants using finishes provided by Caesarstone and Plascon.
Indeed, and welcome back to the show. We are so close to the end, you can almost taste it. Today, our judges are back in studio to give their verdict on the final space in the winner home room apartments. Our contestants had to transform into a beautiful, beautiful home. We are down to the lounge and the living room to tie it all together. Joining us, of course, are our 3 design contestants, Juané, Minenhle and Rudolph. Good to have all 3 of you with us. Minenhle, I have to ask you, my friend, because this is news that has to be shared on national television. On Friday and last week, we mentioned that you had your car stolen while you were on your way towards finishing this apartment, which set a whole bunch of setbacks. On Friday, we mentioned that we were going to let the national, obviously the SAPS, know about this, and we've reported the case. What is the update?
Luckily, they managed to find the car. But
Yay! That's amazing! They found the car.
Yeah, but unfortunately, all my stuff was gone.
Sure.
But at least the car is back.
Okay, bittersweet, but at least some kind of good news coming out of that. I'm really glad to hear that that's happened. And obviously, the judging has happened throughout the process. You haven't been negatively marked on that. So we're looking forward to seeing what the judges have to say. But great news. Thanks for letting us know. And the rest of South Africa, we were so worried about you. And also alongside them are our 4 judges today: Simon Bray, CEO of Private Property, and Roselt, Plascon's Global Colour Manager, and also John Case, Interior Architect and Director from ARRCC. Good to have all 3 of you with us today. It's going to be an exciting day. Our last challenge. It's nerve-wracking. We're going to start with Minenhle today. And before we give you a chance for our judges to decide on their votes, let's take a quick look at what his lounge and living room looks like.
The lounge, being a multifunctional space, has been designed to be a culmination of all the elements in the rest of the apartment in function, materials, and color. An architectural grey with a green undertone on the feature wall gives the space character, and steel elements are brought in to carry out the contemporary industrial style with a bit of African identity brought in through Ndebele-inspired geometric patterns. A dining area is incorporated with flexible furniture that allows it to be extended and accommodates more guests. For consistency and flow, identical curtains from the master bedroom are used, complemented well by brass details evident in various furniture pieces.
Not that my vote counts, but walking into that space, you felt like you were in a whole new world. The judges have to decide what they thought, though. Simon, today we're going to begin with you.
Minenhle, I mean, it must have been very difficult for you trying to work around what was a big disruption in your life with your car being stolen and everything. But the apartment looked excellent. This week was an interesting challenge. It was a room that effectively tied it all together. And I think you did a great job of bringing that strong, bold design that you've been bringing throughout the challenge into the lounge as well. That table of yours was inspired. I think the industrial design there is excellent. I'm sure you guys have got comments about that. Overall, though, I felt there could have been too many furniture pieces interacting in the same space. One thing I would love to have seen is a more deliberate choice on the stools that are on the kitchen counter and how they interact with the table. But overall, the space felt good, it flowed well, there was a nice demarcation between the dining room and the living area, and I feel you did a good job.
Awesome. And what score did you give him for that?
6.5.
A 6.5 coming there from Simon. And I thought you have to comment first of all on the green, his love of green, and also his marshmallow stools, which we kept referring to them as when we walked into that living room.
You know, I love your use of colour. You choose bold colours, you really go for it, and it really works. You use complementary colours and you also use beautiful textures. So your living room really looked luxurious, warm, sociable and friendly. I liked all the chairs, there was lots happening in there. And also one of the most important things in a living room is a comfortable couch. And I loved your couch, it was unique, it was a beautiful velvet and it was so comfortable. So great choice on your couch. I also loved your bespoke furniture pieces, especially the pieces that you used young South African designers. Compliments on doing that. I think it's great when we show off our South African designers in the furniture industry. And I thought it was fantastic and I scored you an 8.
Wow, well done. Awesome. Thank you so much, Anne. That's a very nice result coming there from Anne. John, over to you from a concept point of view and from an architect's point of view. Because, I mean, it really is a difficult space putting into that lounge because it's got to flow.
No, I think Minenhle, the first thing I wanted to say is I think, you've definitely surprised me. And I think this last challenge proved that sort of further in this competition. I think, what I liked about your space was that, initially, the table for me was definitely the showpiece. I mean, that's easily a marketable product. I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, the way that you were able to sort of flexibly sort of open the table up, the brass detail on the top, I think was a superb little touch. And I think for me that really set the tone, I think, for the rest of your space, and I really want to congratulate you on that one. The next thing I actually enjoyed, which initially at first I was a bit unsure of, was the color choices. But the more time I spent in the apartment, I mean, it really started making sense to me. And I think it's got a little bit of a mid-century modern sort of feel, which I think, was a nice surprise. It's got a slight retro touch to it. I mean, your TV unit, I think, unfortunately, obviously, with your car being stolen, I think that was obviously a terrible letdown. But nonetheless, I thought it was a great job.
Sure. And in terms of putting it all together, because, I mean, Minenhle always, throughout these different challenges, has been seen as the visionary. Lots of big ideas, but putting them together becomes a difficult story, and making the big practical has been his thing. So did you mark him down on that? What score did you give him?
No, I didn't mark him down. I mean, I think the one thing that, I mean, I saw, actually, I was fortunate enough to see a little sketch of what the unit would have looked like. So that did kind of give me an idea. I think the one thing I would like you to focus on is just the storage as well. Just focus on storage, think about the equipment that's needed in those areas. But I still gave you a 7.5.
Sure, very nice score there. All right, so that's all the scores complete for Minenhle. Good stuff. You're feeling sort of relaxed and ready to go for the next one. Our next contestant that we've got to have judged today for the final room is Rudolph. Let's take a quick look at his lounge.
This lounge for the entertainer offers a spacious room with excellent flow that allows the kitchen island to expand into the living room. A one-of-a-kind 3D wallpaper that changes color welcomes you into the home. The painted bulkhead fuses the entrance hall with the living space. Neutral furniture creates a softened and comfortable palette that can adjust to any taste changes. The leather artwork on the TV unit screens your choice of either the audiovisual equipment or library and decor section. A handmade rug repeats the textures and patterns of basketwear throughout this tastefully curated apartment.
So what I found was some really interestingly chosen ideas in there, some big and bold ideas actually chosen for him, and unique ones. I'm interested to know, Simon, from your side, how you think this affected the marketability and the sort of value add to the property.
Well, I think the one area that I felt a little bit let down with in Minenhle's apartment was the lack of design and styling in the entrance hall. And I think, Rudolph, you did a great job there. Beautiful mirrors standing there. You get presented with everything the apartment's about as you walk in the door. And then to top it off, as you walk into the space, there's that incredible unit that looks more like a fixture than a piece of furniture. That lovely concrete finish, that sliding leather with the beautiful dappled cutouts in it. I think that really is a unique piece, and that adds to the value of a home. When you see a fixture like that, it really does improve the marketability and the ultimate value of that asset. So I think you did an excellent job. Also, I like the way the dining room isn't really there until you want it to be. And I think that's going to make it a great space for entertaining. The only slight concern I had was a lack of accommodation if you have a number of guests in the place. I think not enough chairs around the dining room table or in the lounge.
And hopefully they'll be touring the rest of the property because they feel so excited to be in there. Talk me through what score you gave that, really positive feedback.
I still think it was an excellent room. I gave it a 7.
A 7, which is slightly higher than your previous score for Minenhle, but only by 0.5. Anne, your comments.
Well, I thought it was a very stylish and elegant room, but also I loved the use of colour, and it was also very creative. Moody Blue was a fantastic choice because it's a colour you come home to, it's relaxing, but it's also optimistic and inspiring, so a great colour choice. I also loved all your handmade things like the carpet and the ceramics and things that added to me the luxury of the place. So I thought it was an excellent living room. I also liked the entrance hall and a bit of fun with the 3D wallpaper. So I also scored you an 8.
Sure, very nice. Anne is in a good mood today with all of these scores. It's good to hear. It is wonderful. John, over to you.
Yeah, no, I think firstly from an interior architectural point of view, the TV unit was a big win for me. Like Minenhle's table, I think you showed a lot of ingenuity there. The Caesar stone tops, I think, was also a really nice touch. It kind of took it out of the cabinetry field and more into something that was sort of part of the fabric of the building, which I thought was great. The LED lighting at the back of the shelving was a really nice touch. A lot of effort went into that. And lastly, that leather screen, I think, was a really, really nice touch. I mean, it definitely was an interesting use of materials. It was not something that you'd see every day, which I really really enjoyed. The second part, I thought, another point was the carpet. I actually thought was quite a nice piece. It wasn't, a rectangular or square piece. It didn't sort of delineate the space. So I think, that for me was great. Obviously, the ochre chair was a great choice. Because I like the swivel base. It gave you that flexibility between, conversing with other people as well as watching TV. Color choice was also great. I enjoyed that. The one thing I think that maybe wasn't my favorite item was sort of the coffee table ottoman idea. I just think that you're putting a drink down, it kind of was a little unstable, but nonetheless, I think you did a great job.
And you spent so much time painting that ottoman to get it to the right color for the apartment. So that must have really stabbed him nice and deep. Yeah. But you have to give him a 0.5 higher than your previous result for Minenhle in order for him to be tied with Minenhle. What score did you give him?
I gave him an 8.
An 8, all right. So that already brings him to 23, 1 point higher than Minenhle. Rudolph slightly in the lead thus far. So that leaves only one contestant left to judge with us in this living room, and that is again you. You always have to wait till after the ad break. It's so sad. We'll see you after the break to find out what exactly happened with Juané's lounge. Welcome back to Winner Home on Afternoon Express, where everything is slightly tense. If you've just joined us, today our 3 design contestants are being judged on their final room, the lounge. So far, Minenhle has got a score of 22. Rudolph is sitting ahead of him just on 23. And we're yet to hear what Juané's score is from our judges. It's all going to be down to what they say here with this final room. Let's take a quick look at her lounge before they judge it.
Area, and so it's important that the energy must flow, and my space accommodates just that. I have chosen neutral colors and white walls to focus all the attention to the one-of-a-kind colorful chandelier which hangs in the center of the room. My dining room table is light and transparent to showcase our beautiful designer chairs, and the glass top reflects the light feature above. The furniture pieces chosen for the lounge are also versatile, like the sofas that can be used as beds too. The Caesar stone coffee table was custom-made for the space. This is a true designer lounge.
So, Rudolph's won 2 challenges, Minenhle's won 2 challenges. Judges, no pressure. Will Juané win a challenge as the last challenge of the day? Simon, start with you.
I certainly hope so. Juané, I think that room was excellent. That's what we've really been waiting for, what we've really been looking for. And I think, certainly from my perspective, coming into your entrance room, seeing that beautiful mural on the wall, looking through to that chandelier, seeing the afternoon sun hitting that chandelier, it just felt right. It felt like a great energy in the room. It felt like there was a dynamism and a playfulness about the space, and yet all of the pieces were there. There was great furniture, great accommodation and seating for all of the guests that you'd have entertained, a beautiful dining room. I felt that the dining room was the best in terms of how it related to both the kitchen and the lounge. It felt right. It felt like it fitted there. So I was very, very impressed, and I gave you an 8.
An 8, well done. Okay, that's a very good score coming from Simon. Anne, over to you.
Yeah, well, Juané, I was a bit worried because I thought maybe you don't like colour, maybe you can't work with colour. And then I saw your entrance hall and it just blew me away. It was everything I've been looking for in this competition. It was beautiful colour, it was a paint effect I'd never seen before, so it was original, it was creative. It sort of really reflected the lifestyle of Val de Vie. It was 10 out of 10. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. Then you walk into your living room and it's the minimalist look, and it could have been a bit dull and boring, because that's how I sometimes feel about minimalism, but you had this fantastic chandelier which gave it a splash of colour and created the drama and interest. So I hate to say it, but you've made a bit of a minimalist out of me. I thought it was fantastic, and I've scored you an 8.5.
An 8.5, wow, and really in a good mood today. This is good to hear, because that was a big risk that you took there. John, it's over to you. She needs to get a 7 in order to win this challenge. I'm not going to let you reveal your score yet, but just your feedback for now.
Look, I think I've been critical on some of your work in this apartment. I definitely think that that first approach, great choice of dining chair. The glass topic, as you said, I mean, the fact that it was transparent, I think, was a real win. But the real hero was that mobile, that chandelier, which I think was just unbelievable. I mean, it really lifted the whole apartment. It was kind of like that last little puzzle piece that sort of put everything together. The choice of furniture I felt was great. It was minimalist. It had that Scandinavian feel, which I really, really enjoyed. The only thing I could have marked you down on was I thought your TV unit could have maybe stepped up a little. The storage, again, as I say, there's obviously lots of equipment and for books and all those other bits and pieces that I think you maybe didn't cater for that well, but nonetheless, I think you did a great job.
Sure. All right. So, with that score, he said he marked you down slightly for that TV unit. Was it marked down enough to not get you a 7? I'm even nervous. My heart is beating. John, for the final challenge for Winner Home on Afternoon Express, that lounge, the score is yours. What did you give Juané?
I scored you a 7.
A 7! Congratulations! Oh my gosh, all right. So that means you go to 23.5 above the other two. Finally, of the last 2 weeks, we've been having, last months, we've been having conversations about how frustrated you are by not winning a challenge, and finally winning the last challenge. Juané, a winner. How do you feel?
I feel so happy. Eindelijk.
Would you show us your hand? Would you show us the shakes?
I'm a bit shaky.
Oh, they're there. Oh my gosh, that is so amazing to hear. So 2 challenges won by Minenhle, 2 by Rudolph, and the final one won by Juané. It's now to judge the whole apartments all together. But recently, as the winner of the last challenge, the kitchen, Minenhle was treated to a once-in-a-lifetime tennis lesson at Valdevi. It was also one-on-one. Let's check it out.
Winning my second challenge, which was the kitchen, was a great feeling for me. Overall, I'm more excited about the prize, which is a tennis lesson at Valdevi. I haven't played tennis in a while. Hopefully, I still have it in me. I think the last time I played tennis was when I was 10. So I'm just going to give it a few swings.
All right, here we go.
Guys, we need to cut that.
Minenhle, that's not bad, but there's definitely a couple of things we can work on. Okay, Minenhle, the first thing we're gonna change is your grip. So the racket, each racket has got 8 flat sides, okay? 1, 2, that's number 3. So your bottom knuckle of your index finger on that 3rd flat part, okay? That's the Eastern grip. The second thing we're gonna look at is your stance, okay? Close stance for the beginning. That's when you get your left foot in line with your right foot. Now this way around.
Okay.
Left foot in front of the right foot. Now we can start hitting balls, and it should go better, okay? Remember to swing from below the ball upwards, okay? About 5-6 centimeters below the ball, and you swing up and make contact out in front of you. Ah, it's perfect. And good. Good, 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 good. Shot. Okay, Minenhle, now that we improved 2 aspects of your game, I'm gonna go back to that side and see if you've improved. But so far it's looking good. Well done, Minenhle.
Thanks. Just one more challenge left. Hopefully I can get the hat trick and go for my 3rd win. So yeah, it's game on. That wasn't too bad.
Sure, man. What an experience. Was it good for you? Were you excited? Was it an exciting experience for you?
Yeah, definitely a great experience. But I think actually thought I had my tennis skills because I used to play tennis way back. But,
you also mentioned in that insert that you were sure that you were going to take the final challenge, but a very big congratulations to you, Juané, for taking the official final one. It's that nice little bit of confidence, hopefully, as we go towards the end of Winner Home Right on Afternoon Express. Remember that just because Minenhle and Rudolph have won more individual challenges, it doesn't mean that Juané can't be the overall winner of Winner Home Right on Afternoon Express. The judges will still pass their judgment on the apartment as a whole, and you also have a say at home as well. After the break, we take a look at the viewer votes as they stand. Don't go anywhere.